Welcome back to the breakdown. I am DELACREMEDELA, your privileged host, and this is another episode of the breakdown show. So I was studying my channel, DELACREMEDELA, and going over a couple things to prepare for next week. Make sure I get some interesting and relevant content out to you guys, as well stay on point of helping the people of Dalton get what they need, which is out of the ghetto, to get out of the ghetto. The ghetto mindset, the ghetto mentality, the ghetto expectations. But let me sit up in my bed. I wanted to take a sidestep because I saw this little place where YouTube is so helpful to recommend videos that I should watch based on the kind of content that I create on this channel. So I thought I'd do a little Russian roulette, so to speak. And all these videos are pretty short, so I just thought I'd maybe take a look with you. And then you tell me if this is some of the kind of stuff we should cover in the future, or if it's a wah, wah, wah. Let's see. I think we're going to start with the one in the middle. He ended her life right after gender reveal. Oof. Let's go. What's up, Shay?
This is the story of Bolivia Williams.
Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Shout outs to Twisted Crimes. Let me subscribe to your channel and like this video already, because I already see what's tea. And I'm going to go ahead and save it in our breakdown playlist as well, to make sure. Okay, I'm trying. Okay. Well, I'll have to do that inside the app, to make sure we all get a peek at this, because I'm going to talk over it, because that's what I'm here for. Now, did I just... Okay, let's start.
This is the story of Bolivia Williams, age 33, a pregnant mother of 4 who was shot and left to die by her boyfriend, Najee Leach, age 31. Najee, a thug who was also said to be sick in the head, got her pregnant, celebrated gender reveal with her, then he decided to kill her when she found out something's about him. He shot her, fled, changed his appearance, and also went on social media to taunt her days after he killed her. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes.
Wait a minute. Wow. I wasn't ready for that. See, I don't know if y'all realize this, but I don't cover a whole lot of this stuff on our channel. Let's go.
Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story will be taking us to Riegelwood, North Carolina. Riegelwood is a small, peaceful town in North Carolina, known for its friendly community and family-oriented atmosphere. With a population of just over 1,000 people, Riegelwood is an intimate and close-knit community with plenty of friendly faces. Crime risk is moderate for Riegelwood. The crime rate in Riegelwood is very low. The town has a very active police department that works hard to keep the community safe. Bolivia Williams, age 33, was a lively young lady who was loved by everyone. North Carolina, but lived in Riegelwood. She studied at Southeastern Community College. Bolivia is known to be an entrepreneur.
See, y'all shouldn't do that. Y'all shouldn't put these videos together that leave so many questions. She was known to be an entrepreneur in what business? And this ain't got nothing to do with the story, I'm sure. I just would like to know. Or was she just a hustler? Jesus. I see why YouTube wanted me to take a look at this. Okay. So she was a braider? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I know it.
Bolivia was a mother to 4 adorable kids and was now 25 weeks pregnant, about to having her 5th child before this tragic incident occurred.
Wait a minute. Okay, now I see why YouTube wants me to talk about this. Because y'all know I'm going in completely blind, but I'm noticing some ghetto stuff. She was 33 on her 5th kid. And she was an entrepreneur in an undisclosed business. And I'm kind of guessing that she was with a low-life nigga.
She posts about her kids. She was a really big fan of yoga.
Sir, Bolivia was a thought pocket, but let's continue. Oh, YouTube, you be trapping me into calling these niggas out. I thought I was just gonna watch a video about a dude killing his girlfriend. And now I gotta call out ghetto characteristics. I didn't plan on doing none of this. I just wanted to watch a movie. And that's what I should have done instead. Was he her pimp?
Yes.
Oh.
Namaste.
Oh, okay.
I see. Ooh, yes, child. Yes.
I mean, but we're going to talk about a thought pocket because rest in peace, Bolivia. Shout outs to you. But maybe you asked me to come and bring this story forward so we could talk about some things. Because I ain't never seen nobody do yoga in no Daisy Dukes. In no coochie cutters. Ain't them the same shorts Beyonce wore to Coachella? I ain't never seen nobody do yoga in those. And she don't sell those at Ivy Park. The athleisure company. Come on, let's talk about a thirst. Okay. All right. I'm a suspend my, one thing I learned how to do when I was learning how to write television and write movies, which is why it was so easy for me to nab Nikita with your bitch ass. Why it was so easy for me to put her under my thumb is because I had to learn how to suspend reality and suspend my judgment and suspend my common sense so that my imagination could create. And what I guess I'm gonna have to do for now is do that? No. Fuck that. This is breakdown. That ain't what you hired me to do. You hired me to break this shit down, and YouTube recommended it based on the content that I create. So I guess YouTube wants me to go ahead and call out a thirst trap and a thought pocket and most likely a boyfriend, girlfriend, pimp situation. Okay. What's the point?
You got it?
I know y'all are enjoying this.
You got it.
She loved doing all sort of yoga poses. She was a very lovely, bubbly and really lively lady. Things did not go well between her and the father of her kids, so she decided to give another man a go. Bolivia was known to really fall hard in love. She was said to wear her heart on her sleeve.
Wait a minute. Hold
Not go.
on. Let me see something real quick.
She was a very lovely, bubbly and really lively lady. Things did not go well
I
between.
just find it very interesting that the lady who was on that tree don't look nothing like the lady we see before us. And the last girl we saw doing yoga, we never saw her face. And we don't see the girl hanging from the tree's face. They're obviously a different complexion, different body build, different hair. Come on, for real, is this what you want us to do? You gonna pull some stock footage and say this girl was an entrepreneur and she did yoga and we can't even see her face in the footage where she's doing the yoga? Nan footage, we see her coochie, we see her ass, we see her knees, but we don't never see her face. Come on, whoever made this, was that stock footage? If it was, let us know. Because if people aren't supposed to believe that that was her doing yoga, then you need to put something on there that was like, this is not actual footage of the deceased or of the victim or stock footage. Because obviously, come on now. Maybe that's why YouTube wanted me to take a look at this.
Yes.
That's not the same fucking person as this person. Those are two different people. And it's definitely not this lady. Maybe this is why YouTube wanted me to take a look at this.
Man named Najee Leach, age 31. Bolivia was known to really fall hard in love. She was said to wear her heart on her sleeve when in love. She met a young man named Najee.
So in other words, Bolivia had not had any boundaries taught to her so that she could have boundaries placed when she was in a romantic relationship with somebody. When somebody falls hard or wears their heart on their sleeves, aka they are desperate. They most likely weren't raised with a father figure, male or female, because that's what a father does, is put that discipline, those boundaries. Okay? It's very likely that she didn't have that. So anybody that showed her some good attention, made her feel good, she would fall hard for. And when you hear that somebody wore their heart on their sleeve or fell in love easy, it probably happened over and over and over again, to the point that their loved ones are telling you this because it was part of their story. It was part of their karmic cycle. It was part of their MO to constantly fall in love with somebody and not get out of it what they wanted. So then they hurried up and fell in love with somebody else because they never had that long-standing, deep, consistent love with their father figure. And that's how people end up in the situations that we're probably about to watch. That's probably how you... I don't think those videos of those people doing yoga are this woman. I don't. I'll be honest with you.
Leach, age 31. Unfortunately, he was a thug who had very little regard for women.
Always, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fly guys don't need no filter. My niggas fucking fresh. No, we don't got niggas one-sided.
He was...
So you gotta wonder what it was about this man that was attractive to that woman, because you are who you attract. And there's no way that dusty nigga could have got anywhere close to my pussy. Not a little bit. There's no way. I don't even think I could even sue him for child support. Absolutely not. My daughter's father knows why I don't fuck broke niggas. And he looks like a broke nigga. He looks like an abusive nigga. We can read him very well. Yeah, I'm on the iPad today. We can zoom in.
At hiding his bad...
He doesn't look like the type of nigga that you could take anywhere. He doesn't look like the type of nigga that's going anywhere. So we have to wonder about this woman who seems like a perpetual victim. It seems like her ultimate demise was what he did to her. But it sounds like her heart was dying for a long time. We have to wonder what it was about her that was attracted to him. Because if he was a thug, then what was she?
Side until she fell hard for him. The relationship started really nice. They posted things about each other. In this post he said, Bolivia, I could write a...
But don't they seem really ghetto? Bolivia, I could write a book about the loyalty I have with you, which means he done put her through some shit and she stayed there. Although it hasn't been that way with any other female. And we know that's a sign when a dude can't call a woman, but he calls women females. He's separated their humanity from their gender. Think about it. Because men don't go around calling men males, do they? Nope. You might hear my baby singing in the background. It is what? W-A-T, it is. We got to bring sapiosexuality back into the black community. It was really alive and well in the 70s, and then I don't know what happened. Cocaine. Instead of going all the way into detail, I appreciate you because he's not going to tell you all the things he did to her for her to earn that stripe of being loyal. I love and adore you in the most passionate ways, which means he really likes to fuck her. I know we go through... What am I supposed to do with this, dude?
About the loyalty I have with you.
No.
Although it hasn't been that way with any other female, it is what it is. Instead of going all the way into detail, he said, Bolivia, I could write a book about the loyalty I have with
Why is that?
you. Although it hasn't been that way with any other
Oh, I get it.
This is the story of Bolivia Williams,
God,
age
that's too much ass
33,
for me.
a pregnant mother of
Pause for a
4 who was
second.
shot and left to die by her
I said
boyfriend.
pause for a second. I'm trying to fix it. Damn, we sure don't want to watch that all over again, do we? Hold on. Now let me get back to where we were. And let me see if I could get back to figuring out why that nigga writes so bad. But I think I understand. He might be a gangster disciple, and I understand that. When you are entrenched in gang...
She was a very lovely.
When you are entrenched in gang lifestyle from a child, it will be what you represent forever and everywhere. You won't have the common sense to write like a motherfucking regular ass person on Facebook because your whole identity has been infiltrated by gang lifestyle. Poor guy. So it sounds like 2 children who are children of poverty, 2 children who are children of abandonment and neglect, 2 children who were children of abuse and probably a lot of trauma and torment, most likely had a trauma bond from some PTSD they experienced at the hands of their mothers, who most likely were not fit, were not ready, were not equipped to be mothers. And so this is what happens.
He was good at hiding his bad side until she fell hard for him. The relationship started really nice. They posted things about each other. In this post he said, Bolivia, I could write a book about the loyalty I have with you. Although it hasn't been that way with any other female, it is what it is. Instead of going all the way into detail, I appreciate you, I love and adore you in the most passionate ways. I know we go through things, but we gon' always come out over top, overstood. Things were really going great.
I mean, but if you saw her response to him, then you know they weren't, neither one of them were batting 1,000. They were probably a match made in mediocre heaven. Let's go.
For them, they posted themselves living life and enjoying each other. Bolivia got pregnant again and it
Sounds like he's a drug dealer. She's a trap queen. Sounds like... Well, they wore a lot of red to be gangster disciples. Now I'm really confused.
was all joy.
Car wearing lingerie. See, we starting to learn more and more about these people. And I'm not saying it justifies anybody murdering anybody. We just talking about a story. Don't get so sensitive. You got to be able to see that 2 people can do something that be wrong at the same goddamn time. You got to be able to see how a person can live a lifestyle that walks them into a situation. And you got to be able to see when somebody's wearing lingerie in the front seat of a car with cloth seats. This is what poverty looks like. This is what thirst trapping looks like. This is what a boyfriend pimp looks like. This is what poverty looks like. She had 5 children, but she's twerking in the driver's seat of a vehicle. Okay.
They had a gender reveal and he seemed really happy.
The thing is, them pictures could have been from any pregnancies because she had 5 of them. Them just some interchangeable maternity pictures. The first one could have been her first pregnancy. The last one could have been her 3rd pregnancy. It ain't no telling. It's just interchangeable, ghetto fabulous maternity pictures. 5. 33 with 5 children. We got to talk about that. By multiple fathers. We do have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about it right now because I know that makes you uncomfortable for me to even mention it out loud. But as you think about it, get ready to talk about it. If that ain't the most ghetto fabulous shit. Oh my sweet Jesus. All right, let's go.
Y'all know what's going on? What's up, little sis? Yeah, what's up, little sis? Yeah.
I tell you what, I love niggas.
They posted pictures of them together and the baby bump. She was really excited. He even went ahead to buy them a matching bracelet to show her that he was committed.
Wait a fucking minute. She right here with all these goddamn kids. You know what I'm about to say. You know exactly what I'm about to say. This motherfucker bought them a bracelet. Matching bracelets. Because that's where he hiding the drug money. Instead of a wedding ring, instead of them incorporating their entities into some sort of LLC so that they could acquire wealth together. I mean, fuck it. A marriage license. He could have got a marriage license for less than these bracelets. Are you kidding me? I bet you them bracelets got a locator on them so he know where her pussy is at all times.
To just her.
And every time she fuck, that thing got a charge so it registers so he know how much money she should come back with.
She was always happy, dancing while heavily pregnant with her friends and family.
She was also always pregnant. Shit. At some point, you be like, fuck it, I'm going to continue to live. I'm going to be pregnant again soon anyway. Get it, girl. Get it. Get it, get it, get it.
In my city, boy, I got...
Unknown to her that her boyfriend was jealous of her and was mostly using her for his financial gains and also has some dark side.
Now, why was that unknown to her? She was 33 and was raising 5 kids at this point. She don't know a homosexual when she see one. It's some niggas out here that love a single mama so they got somewhere to lay their head. Damn, I want some bacon.
He started posting some weird things on social media which was indirectly about Bolivia. On June 4th, 2024, disaster...
Now, women, Shantae, you listening? When Jason be posting that raggedy shit on Facebook, he talking about you. Okay?
struck. Bolivia was said to have uncovered some things about him and she confronted him about it. He could not control himself during this argument, so he did what any weak person would do. He got a gun and shot her multiple times, killing her instantly and then fleeing. The cops were called and Bladen County Sheriff's deputies say they located Bolivia Monique Williams, age 33, of Whiteville with...
Wait, I gotta make sure I hear this shit again because it sounded like he shot her over some regular old new relationship that went too fast, too quick. Ghetto argument. Some struggle relationship, you know, we don't have enough apart, so we put ourselves together so we can survive kind of argument. But let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what these posts say.
Unknown to her that her boyfriend was jealous of her and was mostly using her for his financial gains and also has some dark side. He started posting some weird things.
Some individuals never see they wrong. Yet this motherfucker put a gigantic G. Okay, in the middle of the word wrongs. That's like a double entendre.
On social media, which was in.
Nigga said disrespected me so hard that the feeling, I'm gonna have to start yelling that G sound. Disrespected me so hard that the feeling of this was never even real, and I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. La 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 la. Said I care. I know you don't care too much, but I still care. Now she's singing.
Directly about Bolivia. On June 4, 2024, disaster struck. Bolivia was said to have uncovered some things about him, and she confronted him about it. He could not control himself during this argument, so he did what any weak person would do. He got a gun and shot her multiple times, killing her instantly and then fleeing. The cops were called, and Bladen County Sheriff's deputies say they located Bolivia Monique Williams, age 33, of Whiteville with multiple gunshot wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Autopsy would confirm that she was 25 weeks pregnant. Hours after he killed her and while he was on the run, he posted on social media saying, "You supposed to love me, but you going to thug me." He took her car while on the run because
Was that a lyric from a song that I don't know about?
he had nothing to himself, so police released the description of the car. He was declared wanted for the murder of Bolivia, and multiple law enforcement agencies were collaborating with the Bladen County Sheriff's Office in the search for him. Bladen County Sheriff's Office issued a warning that he is considered armed and dangerous. A lot of messages poured out on social media. Her own daughter wrote this: "You're so fake, you acted like you loved my mommy just to do her some dirt. You shot my mommy and left her for dead. Took her car and just joy riding. I hate you from the bottom of my heart. You just don't know how we rock behind that girl we call Big Bo. You played, now you gotta lay. Leech, you killed my mama with your chest. Turn yourself in with your chest. How could you kill my mommy and your daughter? You were supposed to love her, not kill her. You shot my mommy, bro." While still on the run, he cut off his.
Man, that little girl wrote better than all these grown-ass niggas. Shout outs to you. I can't imagine what you're going through, because I know exactly what you're going through. I've been there. I am there. Sending you strength and energy.
Dreadlocks so he could disguise properly, but unfortunately for him and fortunately for Bolivia, he was apprehended. It would be later revealed that he had done something similar to this in the past. This person posted a message saying, "God always come through. Justice will be served this time." He did this before, but the girl lived and he eventually got out. Najee Leach is charged with 1 count of felony murder, 1 count of felony murder of unborn child.
Ladies, it's niggas out here that are actual murderers. It's niggas out here, women too, don't ever get it twisted. It's people out here who are actual, like, serial killers. Like, they get in relationships with people, they fuck up, they don't want to take responsibility for how they behave or how they move. Somebody stand up, or they don't put up with their bullshit no more, and they just off them. And they'll serve the time, because he probably got ways of making money in jail too. I mean, that's all I could guess. He seemed like a hustler.
1 count of felony count of discharge.
Oh, this is not a no judgment zone. This is not for children. Please stay on topic in the chat.
A weapon into occupied property, 1 count of felony count of robbery with a dangerous weapon, and 1 count of felony larceny of motor vehicle.
Man accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend is not getting out of jail anytime soon. He's facing new charges tonight. According to the Bladen County Sheriff's app, Najee Lee is accused of murder of an unborn child, firing a weapon into an occupied area, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and felony car theft. He's accused of killing Bolivia Monique Williams. Authorities say she was 25 weeks pregnant. The mother-to-be was shot at a home in Regalwood Tuesday night. According to Bladen County Sheriff's Office, deputies got a call about shots fired on Dixon Road near East Arcadia Road around 10:30. When officers got there, they found Williams dead at the scene. Now, Leach made his first court appearance today. He was given no bond. We're told he'll be held at the Bladen County Jail until his next court appearance, which is later this month.
Najee is currently being held at Bladen County Detention Center until his next court date, June 27, 2024. This is still an open investigation. If anyone has information about this case, contact the Bladen County Sheriff's Office at 910-862-6960. We hope Bolivia Williams gets the justice she deserves. A very senseless crime by a weak man who could not control his emotions when it came to woman. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Bolivia. May Bolivia's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her. And may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors.
Take a closer look. It appears that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hold on. I also want to mention that it is important for us to remember to keep our standards high to avoid low-life niggas. Don't ever let a nigga tell you you think you better than him when you know that you are. Okay? A man is supposed to protect and provide. Okay? And if he does not do both, then find out that you can do it on your own. Please never be so desperate to have a male or masculine counterpart that you settle for a low-life nigga. All right, let's go to the next one. I have a feeling that y'all want to take a look at this next one. Influencers might get away with alleged $114 million pump and dump. This is on the Wall Street Millennial page, and I went ahead and subscribed there and liked it, just like I asked you to subscribe here and like this video. And let me know if you like this kind of content, if you like us breaking down this stuff. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit different, so you may not hear me say the word nigga so much. Let's see. Ooh, LNC is at the Pacific Ocean. Let me take a quick look.
Nigga, she still ain't gonna let you smash. That's how they do. Have your ass cuddle on this beach for 7 hours and I just started. You lying. Never mind. Fellas, do not be letting these girls trick you into motherfucking laying on the beach for 7 hours and you ain't smashing. You only lay with your wife on the beach for like 7 hours and don't smash. Not her. And these white people are doing the most. Starting to get a little nipper. Here for 2 more days. I think we beaching all day tomorrow or something close to that. I'll give me some rest. Finally. But guess what? I'm in the studio tonight. What time is it now? It's like 10:30 out west. That's crazy, though. Or east. I'm used to saying out west. We out as west as it gets, bro. It don't get no more west than this. 1999, got your boy on the beach. Della, what's happening, cuz? Man, I'm trying to do something different, you know what I mean? I'm always baseball capping it up, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even have the hoodie on, but I need the hoodie on, bro. It's 59 degrees out right now. I need the hoodie on. Everybody's starting to pack up and get up out of here. Everybody except, you know, these niggas.
Oh shit, the fuck?
Except these niggas.
Oh, you know they smell.
Hey, 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 hey. Me too. I need a hat like, bro. I ain't never had a hat like this before. I asked Chris, I was like, you know what? I want to try one of these. She got me one. And now I'm like, yep, I need an LNC version. LNC logo right there. Yeah, they do, Della. This is out of bounds. This is supposed to be a family beach. And they making out up under. Oh my lord, bro. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And they making out up under. Oh my lord, bro. Oh no. Oh. In Chicago, bro. My brother in Christ, bro. I can't believe we all the way out here, bro. Oh no. Trina. They made me Trina. Remember when I had to come all the way out to the beach just so I could tear their ass up in court? Remember that? You remember that? You remember that? you remember when I had to come all the way out the beach, take these fools to court, tear that ass up in court? Remember that? Break up them sixes, go. Break up them sixes. We out here, cuz. Can I get a shot, bro? Can I get a shot? This makes me forget about the fact these niggas owe me all types of money. That's all I'm gonna say, Trina. Remember that time I had to go all the way out to the beach, tear that ass up in court? Dollars was happening.
Alright, let's get back to work.
If I make it to the SC, deep sea fishing. Hold on, that sounds a little white for my blood. That sounds like a little extra white for my blood.
Alright, let's get back to the next piece of content. It's the one influencers might get away with. Alleged $114 million. That's how you say that, Stan Brown. $1 million pump and dump. Let me see if I can get some idea of what this is about. In December of 2022, 8 social media influencers were indicted on charges of security fraud related to an alleged pump and dump scheme on penny stocks. Wow. In March of 2024, a judge dismissed the charges. This case could have huge implications for the enforcement of securities laws going forward.
Lying is not a crime. If you lie to your wife about an affair you're having, society may view this as morally reprehensible, but this is not a criminal offense. However, things change once money is involved. If you publish false information about a stock and cause it to trade at an artificially inflated or deflated price, this could be securities fraud, which is a felony. Think of a pump and dump scheme where someone buys shares of a penny stock and publishes false information to induce unsuspecting investors to buy the stock. This causes the stock to trade at an artificially inflated level, allowing the pumper to then dump his shares for a profit. For decades, courts have grappled with the difficult question of where to draw the line between lying and fraud. Recently, a federal court in Texas gave a shocking decision, which appears to make it far more difficult to convict people for pump and dumping. In December of 2022, the Department of Justice indicted 8 social media influencers on charges of securities fraud, alleging that they profited to the tune of $114 million between 2020 and 2022 via pump and dump schemes. The case revolved around a podcast called Pennies Going In Raw, which was co-hosted by 2 of the co-defendants. The case immediately garnered significant media attention. The defendants were easy to dislike. They flaunted their wealth, including by posting pictures of sports cars. According to the government, at least one of the defendants referred to their activities as, quote, robbing effing idiots of their money, unquote. The government alleged the defendants lied to their followers by publishing fake information about penny stocks and encouraging their followers to buy said penny stocks at the same time they were dumping their shares.
Listen, bitch, buyer, be motherfucking aware. Do your own research before you go follow somebody's investment advice. Anybody's invested, even your own investment bankers and the people you handle. You better know what the fuck is going on. You better have a fucking what's it called? What's my account that I do all my research on. I guess I'm not supposed to tell you, bitch. But you better do your own motherfucking research. You can't have nobody out here telling you what to buy. Now, ain't you seen enough movies?
The government had access to the trading histories of the defendants' brokerage accounts, numerous public statements made by the defendants on social media, as well as private communications between the defendants discussing their pump and dump schemes.
Okay.
To the surprise of many legal analysts, a federal judge dropped all charges against 7 of the defendants in March of 2024. Even if all the prosecutors found
I know the judge, I'ma shoot on some chips. That nigga said, I know the judge, I'ma shoot on some chips, nigga.
actual allegations are true, the judge ruled that the alleged activity would not constitute securities fraud. This was a shocking decision, which on its face seems to legalize pump and dumps. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the facts of this case, and what the recent ruling means for securities regulation going forward. The prosecution's case centered around the podcast and YouTube channel called Pennies Going In Raw, which we will hereafter refer to as PGIR. PGIR was co-hosted by Daniel Knight and Mitchell Hennessy, who went by the name Hugh Hennessy. There were 6 other co-defendants who would from time to time show up on the PGIR podcast.
Tell me if them don't sound like no fake motherfucking names. Thank you.
The defendants portrayed themselves as stock market experts and regularly recommended penny stocks for their viewers to buy. In addition to the podcast, the defendants maintained a public Discord server where they would give penny stock recommendations. Finally, the defendants all had Twitter accounts, with some of them having hundreds of thousands of followers. The defendants gained credibility among their followers by bragging about the millions of dollars they've made in the stock market. They backed up these claims with expensive sports cars. According to the government, the defendants' main motivation in their social media activities was to convince their tens, if not hundreds of thousands of social media followers to buy the penny stocks they promoted.
Right.
On their social media...
Now that's how they were making millions. Listen, if I tell you about a good stock, I'm not going to tell you unless I bought it already. I need you to drive up that price. Okay? And if you see somebody who made a lot of money in the stocks, you need to do some research and find out how much they actually invested. Because stocks are only going to do so well no matter how good they do. And if that number is higher than 3, 4, 5, or 6%, then you got yourself a liar on your hands. If they invested and they gained back more than 3, 4, 5, or 6%, then you got yourself a liar on your hands. You got somebody who's doing a Ponzi type scheme, okay?
profiles, the defendants often gave disclaimers that their posts are not recommendations to enter a stock, and their followers should not trade based on social media. These disclaimers appear to have been little more than lip service. In other communications, the defendants frequently encourage their followers to buy stocks based on their recommendations. The nature of the defendants' stock recommendations were relatively unsophisticated. Most of their analysis consisted of drawing lines on charts and saying a stock will go up. Despite the low IQ nature of their analysis, the defendants' social media activities in many cases resulted in significant, albeit temporary, increases in share price. The defendants often targeted microcap companies with low liquidity. It's important to remember that this activity was happening between 2020 and 2022, which was the height of the COVID-induced stock market bubble. Millions of novice investors were entering the market for the first time. With the defendants claiming to be highly profitable traders, many novice investors were eager to follow their advice. On many occasions, the defendants told their followers that they do not engage in pump and dumps. When they recommended their followers to buy a given stock, it was because they were buying the stock themselves. According to the government, this was often not true. The defendants would buy shares of the penny stocks before making the public recommendations.
Right.
As soon as the stock price starts to increase, they would dump their shares without informing their followers.
Right.
For example, one of the defendants, Gary Deal, said he thought a penny stock called CE.
I mean, that's how the first banks in America came to be. Study the Rothschilds, study the Rockefellers. You'll find out.
Would increase to $1, and he intends to swing this stock. Swing is a slang term meaning holding a stock for more than one day. Within 2 minutes of posting this tweet, Deal started dumping his shares for an average price of 48 cents. He presumably set a high price target and long duration to prevent his followers from selling before him. The government alleges that this is securities fraud because Deal misled his followers about his intentions with the stock. Most of the alleged misrepresentations relate to the defendant's price targets and intended holding
But
periods.
let me ask you this. When you say it's securities fraud, because he didn't inform them of his intentions, how many of them ever asked him? How many of those people ever asked him if he was planning on dumping that stock, if he had intentions of gaining people to buy the stock? Nobody ever asked him that. So I need you to start educating these damn wannabe investors who want something for nothing. Penny stocks are trash, okay? Penny stocks are Mary Avant. Penny stocks are a Missy Elliott costume. I can't stand the rain. You was trying to figure out which one? That one. Against my window. That one. That one. That's what penny stocks are. My mother advised me against penny stocks back in the day. I bought a few, and most of them ain't trash. I got one right now I can't sell. It did so bad.
The stocks they recommended. However, there were also cases in which defendants made false statements about the penny stock companies themselves. One of the most brazen examples happened in February of 2021, when defendants Daniel Knight and Mitchell Hennessy appeared on the PGIM podcast. Hennessy promoted a microcap stock called Torchlight Energy Resources, which at the time was planning to merge with another penny stock called Meta Materials. Here we'll listen to a short clip of Mr. Hennessy promoting the stock.
One of the backlashes of TRCH is that they're only getting 25% of the company. And this is the way that I like to look at it. They're getting 25% of a company that could be potentially worth, let's call it, even if they got 1%. Okay, let's say that they're valued at, let's call it that Meta and TRCH together when they merge is valued at $5 billion, because that's the amount of assets as of September 2020 that they had on the books. So if we take them just at that value and TRCH has 25%, okay, TRCH, even if their market cap is underneath $1 billion, is still undervalued. Okay, so if that didn't make sense, again, the market cap is what the company is worth, based on the shares. So TRCH's market cap as of right now is 400 million. Okay, so now if Meta, when they merge with Meta, can reach a market cap of 5 billion, that would mean that TRCH's piece of that, so the 25% of that piece, would be worth around, was that like 1.25? So again, if we're going to value Meta at based on their assets, so let's call it, and that's not how that works, but let's just do it that way, okay?
You just said that's not how this works. So let's just do it that way. Because I'm trying to follow your math and you ain't going no motherfucking where, and I'm not that slow. You're trying to make a point out of nothing. Here's the difference between eisegeting and exegeting what's in front of you. You can either eisegete it, where you look for it to support your point, or you can exegete it, where you pull out of it what's in it and then inform that, summarize that, use that, make sense out of that. This nigga is going to try to make an example he ain't thought all the way through yet and say, well, that's not how it works, but let's just do it that way.
Value them at their assets, which is $5 billion as of September 2020. TRCH gets 25% of that. Okay, that means that on book, TRCH is worth at least $1.2 billion. As I just said, the market cap of TRCH.
But we all know that those investments are not assets until you sell them. They're unrealized gains. Nigga, you talking to slow people.
Currently is 400 million. So that means that we could
say nothing about the tax.
Potentially see 3x from here just based on valuation. Now we can go crazy and start saying stuff like the PE ratio, and then it just gets stupid. We could see like 10x from here.
Sounds pretty good. As of September of 2020, Meta Materials had book value of $5 billion. After the merger with Torchlight, shareholders will own 25% of Meta Materials. By Mr. Hennessy's math, this will yield a value of $1.25 billion, or 3 times greater than the current market cap. Therefore, a $10 price target is doable. In fact, this is conservative, because if you value the company on price to earnings, the stock could increase by tenfold. The problem is, none of this was true. At the time, Metamaterials was already listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange, and their financial statements were easily accessible. As of September 30th, 2020, Metamaterials has assets of 13.8 million Canadian dollars. They had book value of negative 4.7 million Canadian dollars. The $5 billion of book value Mr. Hennessy referenced appears to have existed only in his imagination. In the most recent quarter, Metamaterials generated 263,000 Canadian dollars of revenue and had a net loss of 3.9 million Canadian dollars. His statements about valuing Metamaterials with a price-to-earnings multiple were absurd. According to the SEC, Mr. Hennessy dumped his position in Torchlight Energy within days of the podcast, yielding profits of $288,000. He sold his shares before the merger happened, and far below his publicly stated price target of $10. At least some of the defendants appear
And that nigga probably ain't paid no taxes on that shit either.
to have very low opinions of their followers. In a private Discord chat that was unintentionally recorded, defendant Daniel Knight allegedly referred to his social media followers as effing idiots, who they were robbing. In a separate, accidentally recorded Discord call, Daniel Knight discussed with some of his co-defendants why he posted fewer recommendations on Twitter than they did. Knight said that he posted less on Twitter to reduce his chances of criminal liability. By this point, Mr. Knight appears to have been getting nervous about what he and his co-defendants were doing. He believed they were committing market manipulation and could end up in jail. Perhaps the reason for Mr. Knight's anxiety was because their enterprise grew far larger than he probably expected. The government alleges that between 2020 and 2022, the 8 co-defendants generated $114 million of trading profits as a result of their pump-and-dump schemes. The government was able to access trading records from the defendants' brokerage accounts and match these to a timeline of the defendants' public statements. As far as what trades were made and when, there really isn't any doubt. While some of the defendants may contest some of the government's factual allegations, this is largely irrelevant, because a federal judge ruled that even if the defendants did everything the government alleged, they would still not be guilty of securities fraud, at least not based on the legal theories used in the indictment.
Well, because, and I understand where that's coming from, because I asked the question, like, how much are they supposed to reveal? They are not an SEC company. Meme, and Jing. They are not an SEC company. They are not a publicly traded company. They are not a firm. They are just guys on the internet giving recommendations on stocks, telling people what they might want to buy and what they might not want to buy, and then in the background benefiting from all of it. I definitely understand what's unethical, but ethics and law are two different things, and you can't convict someone based on ethics.
On its face, this is pretty shocking. If lying to the public to artificially inflate penny stocks and then dumping your shares isn't securities fraud, then what is? Securities and commodities fraud is defined as knowingly executing or attempting to execute a scheme or artifice to defraud any person in connection with a commodity, option, or security. The controversy arises from the scheme to defraud. What exactly is a scheme to defraud? A scheme to defraud requires the perpetrator to intentionally deprive another party out of money or property. For example, if you're selling a horse and you tell the buyer it's 10 years old when it's actually 30 years old, this would be a scheme to defraud.
Right.
The buyer is willing to pay you a higher price, thinking the horse is younger than it actually is.
And we're thinking the same thing. We're thinking along the same lines. Like, these guys didn't have to tell somebody when they decided to dump their own shit. They are not an investment firm or anything like that. They are social media influencers. They told the truth as much as they needed to, but it's up to the buyer to beware. And these guys are not being hired to do any job or have any sort of loyalty to these people that are listening to them. Those are their customers, honey.
You defrauded him out of his money because he received a product different from what you told him. The buyer was clearly harmed because he received an inferior product. For fraud to occur, it's not enough just to deceive the victim. The perpetrator also needs to intend to deprive the victim of property or money. In 1987, the government tried to prosecute a company called Star, which provided bulk mail service in exchange for a fixed price. Star deceived its customers about how much it paid for postage, and thus how much profit it was making. Presumably, Star believed it would be difficult to market to customers if they knew that Star was making excessive profit margins. The court ultimately ruled that Star was not guilty of fraud. While they indeed deceived their customers and may have received a financial benefit for this, the services they provided to their customers were exactly as advertised. Because the customers received exactly what they expected, they were not deprived of money or property. The Starr decision and similar decisions.
It was up to that person to go and double check and see what the performance of that stock was continuing to look like and know if they needed to go ahead and sell. Is all I'm saying.
Make it more difficult for the government to prosecute fraud cases. It is no longer sufficient to show that the perpetrator deceived the victim with the intention of making money. The prosecution also needs to show that the perpetrator made the victim suffer a loss. In the years after the Starr decision, prosecutors developed a new theory called right to control. This theory holds that if someone withholds important economic information from a victim, which is necessary for making decisions about their assets, the victim's right to control their property has been violated. The right to control is considered a form of property. Therefore, if a victim's right to control their assets is infringed, they have been deprived of their property. Importantly, under this theory, the prosecution does not need to prove that the victim suffered a monetary loss. This is a bit abstract, so let's look at an example where this theory was used to secure a conviction. In 2017, an executive at the multinational banking giant HSBC was convicted of wire fraud. The incident happened in 2011 when Mark Johnson served as global head of foreign exchange for the bank. A company called Cairn Energy had $3.5 billion which it needed to convert to British pounds. Cairn called up a number of banks trying to find out which one can give them the best exchange rate. One of the banks they called was HSBC. Mark Johnson assured Cairn that HSBC could discreetly acquire British pounds without driving up the price, unlike competitors who would front-run their clients at a worse rate. Believing Johnson's pitch, Cairn hired HSBC. But behind the scenes, Johnson instructed his traders to buy British pounds ahead of the client, inflating the price and netting HSBC $7 million of profits. Following the transaction, Cairn's finance team was suspicious. They saw the pound appreciated slightly right before the transaction, giving them a worse rate. When they asked Mark Johnson about this, he erroneously blamed the unfavorable exchange rate fluctuation on the dollar-selling activities of the Russian central bank. He concealed the fact that he told his traders to buy pounds ahead of the transaction. Despite Mr. Johnson's deception, HSBC did not violate the written agreement it had with Cairn. The contract did not specify the trading method the bank was to use, and explicitly stated that HSBC was not a fiduciary or advisor to Cairn. It would be difficult to prove that Cairn suffered a material loss. The front-running activity likely caused Cairn to get a worse price than they otherwise would have. However, it would be very difficult to estimate the exact terms Cairn would have gotten if it used a different bank. Even if a different bank would not have front-run, they may have charged other fees, and Cairn may have received an even worse rate. Cairn agreed to the terms of the contract, and the contract was not violated. Before knowing of the front-running, Cairn was happy with the exchange rate it received. It was very difficult to prove that Cairn suffered a monetary loss, so the government instead relied on the right to control theory. The prosecution argued that Johnson withheld important economic information, and therefore deprived Cairn of its right to control its money. Unaware of Johnson's plans to front-run the transaction, Cairn was not able to make an informed decision and was thus defrauded. In 2017, Johnson was convicted of wire fraud and sentenced to 2 years in prison. If we look at the government's allegations against the 8 social media influencers, it's somewhat similar to the case against Mark Johnson. Just like in the HSBC case, the government made no attempt to quantify the monetary damages of the purported victims. They instead focused on the defendant's misleading statements and material omissions. The defendant's social media followers were denied economically relevant information, specifically the information that the defendants intended to dump their shares. Thus, the followers were unable to make informed trading decisions, and their right to control was infringed. This is conceptually at least somewhat similar to Mark Johnson failing to inform Cairn about his intentions to front-run the foreign exchange order. Despite the apparent similarities between the two cases, the outcomes were very different. Mark Johnson was sentenced to 2 years in prison, while the charges against the social media influencers were dropped. So why the disparity? The 8 social media influencers were indicted in December of 2022. At this time, right to control was still considered a valid legal theory. While prosecutors had successfully been using the right to control theory for over a decade, the Supreme Court had not yet commented on this issue up until that point. In 2018, Louis Caminelli, the owner of a construction company in Buffalo, New York, was convicted of wire fraud. He perpetrated a bid rigging scheme, which gave him an unfair advantage in his $750 million government construction contract. Prosecutors relied on the right to control theory in the trial. After numerous appeals, the case eventually worked its way up to the Supreme Court, which reversed the conviction in May of 2023. The Supreme Court invalidated the right to control theory, saying this strayed too far from the original legislative intent when securities and wire fraud laws were first established. The Caminelli decision happened subsequent to the indictment of the social media influencers, but before any of them could be tried. Because the indictment implicitly relied on the right to control theory, which had been invalidated, the judge decided to drop the charges. However, this isn't necessarily the end of the story. The judge dismissed the case without prejudice. This means the government is free to re-indict the defendants related to the same alleged conduct. In his ruling, the judge made it clear that he did not condone the defendants' alleged conduct. He said that, if true, it demonstrates a lack of veracity, candor, and character, as well as an overwhelming propensity for putting their own well-being ahead of their followers, regardless of the consequences. But in light of the recent Chiminelli decision, the alleged conduct is not necessarily illegal, at least not as charged. In the indictment,
It's not. It's the same thing that happens when you call your investment firm and they tell you to move your money in a certain place and then you lose it due to a housing crash or a house market crash or whatever. When you lose your entire retirement because of a fucking housing crash or a house market crash, it's the same shit. But then all these banks in the background make a whole bunch of money behind it. It's the same shit.
Prosecution focused almost entirely on the defendants withholding information regarding their trading intentions. At the time, this prosecution strategy made sense. Right to control was accepted legal theory. The burden of proof was relatively low because the prosecution did not need to prove that the victim suffered monetary damages. The Department of Justice may relitigate the case using more traditional theories of fraud. For example, if they can prove that a defendant's false public statements caused the penny stocks to trade for inflated values, this may be enough to establish monetary harm for the victims, who purchased the shares at these inflated prices. This may be enough to satisfy the narrow definition of fraud established by a Chiminelli decision. Regardless of the eventual legal outcomes of the 8 social media influencers, there's no doubt that many of their followers suffered significant financial losses by following their recommendations. Their apparent legal victory may embolden other would-be pump-and-dumpers to engage in similar schemes. In light of the regulatory uncertainty, it's more important than ever to be careful whenever you see anyone on social media recommending which stocks to buy, especially if said stocks have small market capitalizations. Whenever you see anyone recommending any investment on social media, it's usually best to assume the worst. Trust nobody and independently verify everything before making any investment decision. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video. What do you think about the social media pump and dump case? Was the judge right to drop the charges?
Cool.
Let us know in the comments.
I'm glad we got to watch that story together. I think it's really important. Let's cover the very last one. Thank you guys for still being here. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to DELACREMEDELA. So the next one is a woman has meltdown after I know meltdown is code for white girl, so let's see what happens. I see Darius M here is the creator of this video. Thank you very much. I went ahead and subscribed and liked this video, and I recommend that you do the same. Let me go ahead and save it to the breakdown playlist. And before I forget, let me save the other one too. There we go. Now you've got all those videos.
I know they got cameras in back. Now put my shoes on my feet too while you at it. I'm not moving to the shoes on my feet. Yes, ma'am, I got you. She's a lying ass. I never once defied none of your laws.
This woman must be drunk. You can tell she's entitled. She's used to getting her way. Has no respect.
On August 28th, 2023, law enforcement in Miami, Florida, responded to an incident at a popular nightclub involving a female. It was reported that the woman became upset after a man at the bar ceased buying drinks for her and her friend.
Oh, Lord, she got them desperate-ass eyelashes on. She got the white girl who likes black dick eyelashes on. She got the, I'ma treat him better than his baby mama, but then get mad when I'm his next baby mama eyelashes on. She got the Sarah, once she had an ass like Keisha eyelashes on.
Despite efforts to calm the situation, she refused to leave, eventually resorting to removing her heels and throwing them at the individual.
Just put yours on her for now. Might as well just put yours on her.
Now, what I think is really crazy is as I'm going through these comments, I guarantee you I won't see the words ghetto, welfare, thought. I won't see any of those words. Monkey, basketball. I'm not going to see none of those words. They're going to give her practical advice. You're 23 years old with multiple kids and you're wasting your life away being a party girl, getting arrested. Grow up. They're not going to say she's a waste and she'll never be good and she's useless because she's white. I see why you two wanted me to watch this one too.
Here. Is this yours?
Girl, get the f*** out my face.
Does she have one of these over there?
The lunch is close to you.
Alright.
Is it just me or is she giving prostitute?
Let me get my face out my hair. Let me get my hair out my face. Oh,
You tell she's drunk. Let me get my face out of my hair.
I would do it. I would do it. Stop, please. Can you get out my face so I can get my hair out my face? Why are you touching me? Let me, what are you doing? Over my summer hair? For real? No, yeah, I won't. Suck my, that's what I'm gonna fucking tell you to do.
Why do women say that? Suck my pipe. You're a woman. These chicks are just masculine, dude.
Y'all tell you why women say that. We say that to puss ass niggas. Suck my motherfucking dick, puss ass nigga.
Let me react you type shit. That's what the wants to type shit. Now put my heels back on my feet. What's wrong with y'all? What are y'all doing? I don't give a no damn heels, bitch. I'm not trying to suck nobody's. Y'all is doing a bit too fucking much. And you put me up against some big car. What do you think you gonna do?
And she doing all that talking, running all that mouth, doing all that cussing, doing all that resisting arrest. You don't hear them saying, stop resisting, stop resisting. They haven't tased her, maced her, pepper sprayed her, put her down on the ground, put their foot on her neck. None of that. None of that. Because at the end of the day, she reminds them of their side bitch.
What are you going to do? What do you think you want to do? What the?
If she's talking like this in front of law enforcement, imagine how she would talk to you. In your face. Yeah, for some of y'all,
Is that a perpetually single nigga? Hold on. A lot of times these videos, they be narrated by incels. Oh, shit. Oh, he's definitely an incel. Oh, man. So let's chew the meat and spit out the bones. Or as Jedediah Brown tried to say earlier, hear the meat and spit out the bones. You got to listen to me a whole lot better, honey, so you can take notes. Let's be careful as we hear what he say to understand that he is most likely speaking as a nigga who cannot get pussy from any woman. Not even his. Okay? He's most likely not in an abode that he's provided for himself. Given the brick exposed wall, the brown leather chair, the brown sofa in the back, it's very likely that this man is alone and lonely. He came on camera to do a show for you in an undershirt. And it looks like, based on those khaki pants, he just got off work. He probably works at Best Buy. He ain't combed his hair ever. He stopped combing his hair. He don't groom. He don't even grow facial hair barely. Yeah, this man is an incel. So let's be mindful that he's probably speaking from the perspective of a man who can't get no pussy and is most likely quite upset about it and has made all women the enemy. He will find something wrong in any woman, including his mama, because she probably the problem.
kind of cute on the outside. I deal with it. This is where I like crazy women. That stuff turned me on. I know dudes be saying that. They say that because they're desiring sex. They're lusting. They're not thinking about the woman's internal. And these chicks are damaged.
Over some damn heels. Are you serious?
When he says these chicks, remember that we're only looking at one woman on the screen, okay? So keep that in mind. We're talking about a dude who obviously can't get pussy. So please don't think that because he says these chicks, that he's realistically referring to more than just this one on the screen. Incels, man.
Over some heels. Take my picture. Hey. Over some heels.
Sir,
I walked in here over some heels.
Yeah, can you let her know she's trespassed?
Over some heels.
No, can you let her know?
Over some heels. Over some heels.
Can you stop?
Over some heels. Over some heels. Over some heels.
Ma'am, security.
Now, if she was black, how many of them would have punched her in the face by now? Oh, for real? Ask Carl Wilson.
Control. You heard get off my arm. Yeah, my birth control. That's what I said. My birth control, dumb.
What does that even mean?
Said, the fuck talking about, bitch? Said my birth control.
So I don't know if y'all are catching up with these comments, but now niggas are talking about leaving the country for all pussy. Not just black pussy. They don't want no American pussy no more. I bet you they want that pussy to smell like American pussy. I bet you they wish that pussy tasted like American pussy.
That's what I said, dumb. That's what I said. Is you surprised? Dumbass. I've been there 5 years. I've been coming here and spending thousands of dollars more than you ever know. I've been spending $1,000 more than you ever know. Little do your dumb
Thank you,
ass
sir.
know.
Thank you. You've been trespassed, so you can't come back.
Have I been trespassed? No, I haven't. I've been paying money more than you ever think you
just
have.
trespassed you.
Baby, more than you ever know. Go to my jail. You gonna bail me out? I got your money. Go to my jail. Go to TGK. Fuck with these dumbass. Your dumbass. Get your hands the off me.
Stop.
Get off of me. Get the off of me. Get off of me. Like what the thing? You think I'm not gonna give you the money? You think I'm not gonna give you the money?
Face forward.
Okay, then ask me nicely. Get the off me, bum. You think I'm gonna ask you? I'm not gonna ask you nicely. Yo, dumb. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna shit, dumbass. You're not gonna get out of it, dumbass. Come on, boomy. And you're sitting down. And you're selling this shit, dumbass.
She tried to say something. They closed the door. Suck. Click.
That bag.
Oh my God.
Any woman that's out and about at night, dressed like this, is not a good individual. Not for the long term at all. Not for the short term at night. You smash real quick, you got to get out of there because these type of females will ruin your life.
Nigga, when's the last time you smashed anything? You need to smash some shampoo into your scalp and comb your motherfucking hair. But he's right though. If you out at night and you see a bitch like this, nah, that ain't what you want.
Yeah, just take it to the RA setting. You'll be fine. Just get the armband from Fabio.
It's in here.
It's in there already? Double check. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, just head straight there because it's gonna be done quick.
You know what I'm saying? Since you so above the law, I can't hear it. You know, I can't feel that. I can't feel that. Excuse me. We have to have your law. I know the lawyer. So we have.
Isn't she supposed to have her hands cuffed even when she's in the back of a police car?
No, because she white. You and her don't play by the same rules. You and her aren't held accountable to the same shit. This girl is in the back of a police car and she's banging on the window. Ask them if you would be.
That's what I thought.
We have to have the law implemented between the both of us. We have to have the law implemented between the both of us. We have to have the law implemented between the both of us. Yeah, can't take me nowhere. I read my rights. Y'all gotta let me go. I read my rights. Y'all gotta let me go. I read my rights. I seen it on the board. Y'all gotta let me go.
Now, the only references you see in these comments about her that would sound similar to what they would say to a black woman is when they refer to her as other black women. That's how racist these people are. They can't see this woman as a white woman with a horrible way of living. They have to find some way, because of the way she talks, to connect her with black women so they can thereby insult and offend and attack black women. Interesting. Because they won't say nothing about her being white and ratchet, will they? No.
Y'all gotta let me go. Y'all gotta let me go. I seen it. I'm looking at her DMs right now. I'm literally looking at her Instagram DMs right now, and she gotta let me go right now. You feel me?
Entitlement and delusion wrapped in one. These like a zoo animal. Can't stop talking, can't sit still.
I'm looking at her. I'm watching it. Y'all on video. I'm gonna. I've never been. I never disrespected none of y'all. I want shoes on my feet though. I want shoes on my feet though.
Shoes on your feet, that's the last of your concerns.
She already been scanned in.
I was just a PK. I'm so respectful. I don't deserve this. I was just here. I don't want to be here. I was just respectful. You were disrespectful as. I hope you know that. Because I never did to you. I never did to you, bitch. It's gonna be $1,000 to get out of here 3 days ago.
You heard her? She said something about $51,000 or some money. She was there 3 days ago to get out.
Yeah, but that's more than some alcohol. That girl is on drugs. That's all day, every day crackhead behavior.
Man, that was you back? She has no self-control. She's a horrible mother if she has kids. And they not with her. Everything is a red flag, but some dude gonna say, "Oh man, she kind of cute." Okay, I'm gonna wife her up. I'm gonna put a baby in her, and she gonna destroy your life.
Well, y'all never hook you down before?
No. Just because she is right now. One moment she's feeling like she's one day she's here, she never came here before. One day she came here.
Yeah, that's what she said. She done been here 4 days. She said she just been here 3 days ago.
You know what she told me? She's like, my daughter's on the home, blah, blah. She's like, I got no kids. Like, bro.
It's hard to home alone, but you in a nightclub? You in a club?
I live. She's wild.
Anything that comes from live, we know it's going to be a problem. We waiting on them. Come on, don't worry. I'm going to pick them up. And once they let me know what it is, don't worry. I'm in route. I'm going to pick up.
I wonder if she's been tested for schizophrenia. Just a thought.
She ain't have no money, so
The suspect was charged with assault and disorderly conduct, but later filed a lawsuit for wrongful arrest.
She sure did. I wonder what happened with that lawsuit. She was cognizant enough to file that motherfucking lawsuit, wasn't she? Shit, I know that's right. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all for taking this little walk with me. Those are the videos that YouTube recommended that I take a look at with you based on the content that we take a look at. It's a little bit off the beaten path for you, but it's definitely not for me. So for now, I'd love to know what you thought about the content we watched. If you want to do a few more of these, let me know, and we will. I like to kind of take a step back from what we normally watch on the weekend just so we can rest and refresh our brains and get ready for more Dalton bullshit. Because you know Nikita Cloud will be back to work on Monday in her fake office in the other side of her kitchen on her phone, being Nikita and being fake Facebook profiles. Anyway, y'all, for now, that's all I got. Let me see if she's coming. I said, that's all I got. Ain't got Listen, if you never be extra, you'll never get extra. I holla.